Hi, my name is Sam, and in this session, I'm going to talk about Interaction Attendant logs. Before I delve into that, let me briefly introduce what is Interaction Attendant. Interaction Attendant allows you to configure the auto attendance system built into CIC. In a nutshell, Interaction Attendant will automatically answer an incoming call. It will then prompt the caller for DTMF input or inputs via the telephone keypad. Upon receipt of the inputs, Interaction Attendant will then process the call based on the configured call flow. In this video, we are going to look at the log mechanism used by Interaction Attendant to prevent simultaneous changes made to it. Basically, a log is used by Attendant to maintain the integrity of the first full editing session of Attendant when there are more than one attendant sessions running. In Attendant, there are three types of logs: same user log, in-use log, and stale log. A same user log is used when an existing full editing attendant session is already opened by the same user, whereas in-use log is used when an existing full editing attendance session is already opened by a different user. A stale log is a log which has been in place for more than 24 hours. Basically, a stale log can be overridden by the second user opening attendant because it is assumed that the log has expired if it is already open for more than 24 hours. For the next part of my presentation, I'm going to show you the use of each of these three logs and the options that you have in dealing with them. This is my IC server, and as you can see here, I already have an Interaction Attendant session opened. This is a full editing Interaction Attendant, which means that I am able to make changes to it and to save my changes. When I try to run another instance of Interaction Attendant using the same user, I will get a message, the same user log message. Basically, it is telling me that I am already running another copy of Interaction Attendant, and it is asking whether I should overwrite the first log or do not overwrite. If I choose do not overwrite, basically this second session of Interaction Attendant will be a read-only attendant. Now that I have chosen to not overwrite the attendant log, this second instance of attendant is basically a read-only session, which means that I am not able to save my changes. Although, bear in mind that you can still choose to export your changes to be imported into a full editing attendance session later. For your ease of viewing, this is the same user attendant log which we saw earlier. If a different user were to try to log into attendant, you will get this attendant in use log. Basically, with this attendant in use log, the second user is not given an option to overwrite the first log. The third log type, a stale log, is basically used by attendant if the log has been in place for more than 24 hours. A user presented with a stale log message basically can choose to overwrite the log and have full access to his Interaction Attendant session. This concludes the Interaction Attendant logs video. Thank you for watching.